Okay, well, 6 months on the road since December 20th, and we've seen a lot.
Yeah, we've seen a thing or two.
We've seen Missouri twice. We managed to get stuck in a vineyard.
Yep.
Okay. We also spent, 6 weeks in Texas, 4 weeks in Destin, Florida, and made our way up to the Ozarks, and we also made it back here in Minnesota in April, and we got stuck one more time, correct?
Yep.
In a bunch of snow.
Mm-hmm.
So now we are going to be leaving our home for a couple days. Why?
Well, because we need to take the RV back to the dealership for the third time to get the same list of warranty items repaired.
Yeah, this is our third attempt.
So one more reason why you may want to reconsider jumping into full-time RV life is dealerships and repairs and maintenance. Eric will talk more about maintenance, but specifically in repairs with the dealership. How has that been going for you?
It's been going. We can say that. I'll have to hand it to Brinkley, though. They have been exceptionally good, easy to work with. They have gifted a couple components, one of which you'll see, we'll talk about later. But yeah, the customer service at Brinkley has been outstanding. The dealerships, on the other hand, well, we're gonna talk more about that as this episode continues. So we're gonna head out. Again, when you live in an RV full time, you lose your home when it's being worked on. So you got to find another one for those days that you are homeless. Well, technically you're homeless throughout the whole time, but you get the idea. All right.
One more reason why you might want to reconsider full-time RV living, and that is relationships.
Yeah, especially living with this one. No, just kidding.
So Eric's going to talk about our relationship in a minute, but first I was going to touch on your relationships with your family and your friends. When you head out of town, you're going to be super excited. Everybody's going to be excited for you, and everyone's going to tell you how they can't wait to come and visit you. They're going to tell you they're going to see you soon, and they're so excited. And then they never do. They just never do. And I honestly think it really has more to do with just timing than anything else. But the point I'm making is it's going to be up to you then to really be intentional about maintaining these relationships with your family and your friends and anybody else who's important to you. You're going to need to either set up video calls, be intentional about regular weekly phone calls, or even online gaming sessions with people who love to game, or do anything else online. Maybe you set up Zoom happy hours. I don't know. But the point is it's going to be up to you and not them to make sure that you're keeping in touch and staying connected and getting engaged. You'll also want to make sure that you're on social media to stay on top of things happening in their lives. Even if you're not a social media person, this is one time when you're really going to want to use that to your advantage. So trust me when I say you're going to get lonely, you're going to miss them, and they miss you too. But it's going to be up to you. So if you're not someone who's really great at maintaining contact and connection like that, this is going to be a tough transition for you.
All right. Guys, well, even gals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Relationships are very important, and they're very challenging, especially when you are living in close quarters. What, 400?
Yeah, 400.
I mean, the boundaries of what you have to get away is very slim, even though you have wheels and a truck to haul your ass out of there. However, remember, you got to take the other half with you. So just be prepared. Have a lot of forgiveness, have a lot of grace, and have a lot of love, because your spouse is going to tear things up. She's gonna run into things with the truck, and she's gonna cause damage. She's gonna rip trim off the of the RV. Well, then rip it, but crap.
Wait! broom stuck in the slide.
Oh, jeez.
So
Anything going on in there? What's going on?
Back it because of, not crossing your T's and dotting your I's.
I was hurrying.
And a plethora of other things. And the more she does it, the more you gotta love her because you have nowhere to go, my friend. So have a lot of grace, have a lot of forgiveness, and have a lot of love. If you can't do that, then this life isn't for you. You might be better just being a weekend warrior.
Yeah. Communication, patience, and understanding are so important. But if you guys aren't great communicators right now, you really need to work on that skill because this space gets pretty small.
Yeah.
And if the weather's not great and you got nowhere to go, and nothing but patience from this guy all the time. All right. Well, that'll wrap up our reasons why you may want to reconsider jumping into full-time RV living. We love it, but there's a transition and there's challenges that come along with it. You're going to spend money you don't want to spend because you broke things.
Yep. Have a good insurance policy.
Good insurance is important.
Yeah, spousal insurance, is that one?
That should be one, though. All you insurance agents out there, that could be a big moneymaker for you.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
See you again next time.
Well, that was at the end. That's not the end.
Not the end?
No, we got more.
Oh,
We
you
got more.
didn't communicate that.
Okay.
I've got another reason why you may want to reconsider jumping into full-time RV living, and that is the transition. So for us, prior to this lifestyle, we had really busy schedules. From chasing appointments to networking to meeting with clients to maintaining a really large property and also just managing Eric's care, we had very, very full schedules. And we thought for sure jumping into this lifestyle, we'd be able to slow down, calm down, and enjoy ourselves and have less to do. Well, you'll see throughout this video that's absolutely not the case. There's so much still to do. You've constantly got your power usage top of mind. You've got to be planning your routes well in advance. You've got to be meal planning, especially if you're boondocking, so that you have everything you need so that you're not making unnecessary trips. All of those things are still really time consuming. And it's going to cause you to want to feel like you got to hurry. And I can tell you right now, there is no place for hurrying anything in RV living. Hurrying is when things get wrecked, things get broken, we make mistakes. And especially if you're new to the full RV life, there's going to be things you don't know and you're going to have to figure out. You're going to have to YouTube videos to find out how to fix things, how to do things. And we were avid campers prior to this, not so much in an RV, but we did travel cross country on our motorcycles. So we're used to managing that, but it's a huge mindset shift to calm down, take a breath, and be intentional, deliberate, and not allow yourself to get panicky and rush. When you rush, that's when things get wrecked, they get broken, arguments start. It's never a good thing. So if you're coming from a lifestyle that was super busy, that you ran from place to place, it's going to be a tough transition for you to step in here. There's still plenty to do and plenty to see, but you're going to have to try to calm down and be intentional with your time. So it's something to seriously consider because this transition can be tough. I always say it's a full turn of the calendar with every major life change. You got to get through all 4 seasons, all the holidays, everything, before you can truly understand what that transition looks like. And this one is tougher than I expected it to be. So I just wanted to make sure I let you know to at least plan ahead for that.
All right, you heard Krissy talking about stuff, blah, 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 blah. Relationships this, communicationships this. Now it's time for maintenance. That's right, maintenance. So we're going to go ahead and get outside and talk about what all needs to be done on the outside. Okay, so let's go. So there's a couple things that we're gonna talk about in regards to maintenance out here on the exterior portion of our rig. And these are things that need to get done. They are actually a must. So if you're not into maintenance and you don't have a lot of cash, or you don't want to waste a lot of cash, how about let's put it that way, you got to get these things done. So let's go ahead and start with the slides. Okay, so if you're on a farm, if you're mooch stocking on a farm, you're typically going to have friends with you. It's just the way it is, and I love it, love it. But hey, Nellie, I gotta let you go for a minute. Okay, so I'm sitting underneath my frame. Now, Brinkley uses a Lippard frame through hydraulic glide system, or I think it's, I've got the right idea down. Basically, they're hydraulic slides. It's a rack and pinion slide out system, which most RVs use. Very reliable, little maintenance required. But let's talk about the maintenance. So, this that I just hit my head on is the rack, I believe. I don't know. Hey, if you're looking for education, Big E is not the one you want to go to. I just know what I need to do, okay? This here needs to be lubed up. You just gotta, basically, it's pretty simple. Just clean it with soap and water and use dry lube. That's it. That's all you gotta do for that. I hate doing this. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Does anybody else know? If you know what all this stuff is, please leave it in the comments below, because I have no idea. The other thing that we need to periodically check on is your frame. One of the things that is recommended that I will be doing is making sure that it is dry lubed, not because it needs lubrication, but to help it preventing rust. And I tell you what, if you do start seeing rust, it's a bad thing. So you do want to check on this periodically, look for cracks, and those cracks can show rust over time. So that's part of maintenance underneath here. So next thing we're going to talk about is the wheel bearings. Once these babies hit 10,000 miles, I'm going to learn how to repack them. It doesn't seem like it's going to be all that complicated. We'll see. That's going to be on a future video, though. It's not going to be right now. But again, more maintenance required. The funny thing is out of my house to get out of maintenance, thinking that RV life would require a lot less of it. I am finding out otherwise, and boy, I am really starting to rethink my whole life and all the choices that I made that led me to here. Man, there's a bunch of things I could have done differently. What about you? Put your comments in the comments section below. All right. Well, that's enough. That's enough down there. Now, this doesn't have anything to do with the RV, outside of the fact is that, hey, we've got a toy hauler. And we haul a side-by-side. If you're not familiar with what a side-by-side is, well, that's this. Yep. This is a Polaris Ranger. It does 0 to 50.5 miles per hour in about, I don't know how many seconds. It's got 4 tires, and each one costs about 150 bucks. And these ones are brand new. They are less than 3 months old. And look at this. Got a flat. Which means that's another thing on my list that I gotta fix. And that will be done on perhaps another episode as well. I just don't have time to do it on this one. But it's gotta get done. We should talk about water now. You know, we've got 3 types of tanks. We got a freshwater tank, a gray water tank, and a black water tank. Well, the black water tank contains, well, you guessed it, it contains the solids that you don't want around. But believe it or not, your gray tank stinks more than your black tank. And your gray tank is the stuff that you get from washing dishes and taking showers. Our rig has 2 black tanks, 2 gray tanks, and 1 gigantic freshwater tank. All that requires maintenance as well. This is the water bay. Every 6 months, we have to sanitize our tanks. They suggest every year, but I say every 6 months or so. That's really not that complicated to do. I've got 3 levers. I got my blue lever down here. I bring that lever over here and that lever here, and that's to sanitize. But I don't want to do that. Right now I'm dry camping, so we'll just leave everything alone before I start breaking stuff, shall we? Okay, that's sanitizing. That's not that big of a deal. What is a big deal is when we're boondocking, which basically is what we're doing right now, meaning that we're not hooked up to anything. We're mooch docking. We're at our son-in-law's daughter's farm again for the 3rd time, I think it is, something like that. But right now we're holding black water and gray water, and it's going to be time to, well, dump. So we have to go to the local dump station, and that requires maintenance. Okay. In here, we have what's called our sewer hose. And that, when you dump, obviously, you have to take that out, and then you hook up your hose to the dump station drain, and and then you basically have back up at the water station, you have the availability to dump your tanks, your controls, that is. So we'll lock this up. I don't want the sewer hose coming out. I don't have my gloves on.
All right, you guys, suffice it to say, a long box dually diesel pickup truck is not designed for running to the store to get ice cream. All right. Let me get back. Oh! Shit. Time we get in this truck and we run to the store or we go on an outing, we're taking a bigger risk than most, in the sense that had I done some real serious damage to this vehicle, who knows how long it would have taken to get it fixed, and we would have been stuck at that campground. We would have had no way to move our RV to the next place. And who knows if that campground would have been able to keep us there. We might have really been in a pickle, in addition to all the extra expenses that we could have incurred had things been a lot worse. So just one more reason, you guys, why you really need to consider what you're getting into when you jump into the full-time RV life. Okay. One more reason why you may want to reconsider full-time RV life. You're going to wreck stuff. You're going to have a brand new RV just like we did, and you're going to break things, as you're going to see throughout this video. And I know I've personally done my fair share, if not more so. And one of them was on a single travel day from Texas to Florida. I didn't have things properly secured in the garage. I didn't understand how to really wrench things down with the tie downs. I didn't have good enough tie downs, and all of the above. I managed to damage the screen and the door behind it, break the patio door handle, and also damage the wall and the trim, all due to the fact that I didn't have a table properly secured up in the loft. I didn't have the side-by-side really tightened down so it wouldn't move, and it shifted during that travel. And I had a bicycle on the side that I thought I had covered well enough so it wouldn't wreck anything. But sure enough, the covering I had fell away because it was jostled around so much. You just never know what kind of roads you're going to encounter or what kind of terrain or turns or traffic you're going to run into. And that being said, understanding tie downs, but also accepting the fact that as a new RVer, you're going to wreck stuff too. I guarantee it.
Just to give you an update about warranty work. It's been tough. We've been at the dealership for service 3 times. In April, we were there thinking that things would be rolling. No. They ran out of time before they even got started. We had the Brinkley at our dealership in Minnesota for 2 nights, or 2 days and 1 night, and nothing really got done. So we picked up the Brinkley, we had to reschedule, and we brought it again in May, and wouldn't you know it, they weren't able to get it done. They ordered parts, and that's about as far as they got on that project. And so we had to go in again in June, which was this month, obviously, about a week back. They got everything done except for half of it. No kidding. Brinkley gifted us the door handle that we broke. We actually had to install it ourselves. That was scheduled to get installed, but they forgot. So we opted to install it ourselves. In this tube, Brinkley has gifted us the trim that Krissy broke with the broom handle when we were, I think we were retracting the slide. So that's going to get installed by us because it's still in here. Oh, service forgot. Okay. The vanity countertop was chipped, not by us. That was something that was a defect that we didn't catch until after purchasing the Brinkley, and that was done under warranty. They did get that done. There was the couple other things that got done, nothing major. But what didn't get done properly, which was one of our big problems, and it's more aesthetic than anything. So if you look up here, this is where our wall meets the ceiling. This came loose, and that was during a travel day. It's kind of a common problem with Brinkley's. These walls are so tacked. They're tacked so tight against the back wall that sometimes during travel they can come loose. That's what happened to ours. The dealer was supposed to get that fixed. They said they did, but when we looked at it, we should have looked at it right away before picking up the Brinkley. But what we did was we kind of trusted them, which was obviously on us, that everything was done. So we unbeknownst to us, when we got home, or when we got back into our rig, when we did our inspection, when we should have done it like I said earlier, it was just crappy workmanship. It didn't get done. So we have to bring it in. We don't know the specific date, but it's going in another time. Maybe September timeframe. I doubt it's going to happen in July, but they're going to have to retack it, put the caulking on correctly, and shore it up against the cabinet. I tell you what, Brinkley is incredible. They have really hit home runs on all accounts with us. It is the dealership. Now, unfortunately, when you buy a Brinkley, there's only one dealership in each state that is authorized to sell Brinkleys. That's my understanding. So if you want to buy a Brinkley, hey, I would do it in a heartbeat. They're fantastic rigs. Brinkley does an awesome job at customer service. it is your dealership that you need to be aware of. All right. So that is it, my friends, on reasons why you might want to consider full-time RVing it. Well, that's another episode in the books. Hey, thanks for buzzing with us. And you might want to subscribe if you haven't already, because our next episode, we are going to see something special. And of course, we are going to take you along. Alpacas in Minnesota, you say? Think about it. You got a week to ponder on that, and because our next episode comes out next Friday. And yes, we are going to be surrounded by that certain animal. Hopefully we do not get spit. So, if you like this episode, hey, continue to buzz with us on 2 other episodes that you can see on each side of your screen. And remember, until next time, keep your moral compass pointed north.